All right, Mr. Teleferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? First and foremost, out of respect to Charles Barkley, I gotta big up not only the player that he was, I mean, probably a top 50 player all time, and I know he didn't have a championship, but Charles Barkley was a beast on the court back in his heyday. So I want to big up Charles Barkley, the player, and not only was he a great player, there's an argument that can be made he's actually a better television host or a better analyst than he was a player. That's saying a lot. So I want to say salute to Charles Barkley. I have nothing but the utmost respect for his honest opinion, no matter if you like it or not. Right? It's his perspective, whether you like it or not. But I got to be honest. Charles Barkley is a LeBron James hater. All right? It's just the reality of the situation. I'm watching TNT the other night, and LeBron made his return to the NBA. He had missed the last 17 games with an injury. And we know LeBron and Chuck don't got the best track record, right? What was that, like a year or two ago when Charles criticized LeBron and, you know, some things that was going on with LeBron and the Cavs at the time. And then LeBron got personal and started talking about some of Chuck's past and a car incident, I believe. So it got super personal. We know LeBron doesn't love Chuck and Chuck doesn't love LeBron. Right? It's gotten personal, right? I've always felt like Charles Barkley didn't, and a lot of legends feel like LeBron passed by Kobe too easily. That's what I think starts a lot of the hate wave with LeBron. A lot of people are like, yo, LeBron's got 3 respectable rings, don't get me wrong, but we're swinging him past one Kobe being Bryant a little too quickly, right? And also when we start to have those Michael Jordan conversations, again, Chuck played with Michael Jordan. Though they're not friends now, I don't believe Chuck's going to have the utmost respect for a guy that he played with that stopped him from winning a ring. Right? This dude won 6 of them bad boys and never lost in the finals, never even got to a game 7. So, you know, legends are always going to feel a way about LeBron. I feel like Kobe was their cutoff. And I do believe Charles thinks Kobe is better than LeBron, right? Matter of fact, he said it. So I just wanted to lead with that before I get in the meat of the video. Charles, you got to stop with the LeBron hate, though, bro. It's getting out of hand. Like, I'm watching TNT the other night. Like I said, LeBron made his return against the Clippers. Lakers won that game in OT. And I'm seeing Charles make some snarky comments. First off, he never owned up to being wrong last year, right? So in the NBA playoffs, right, Chuck was adamant about that the Cavaliers would not make the finals. As a matter of fact, he doubled down saying the Toronto Raptors would make the NBA finals, right? If I'm not mistaken, he picked the Raptors to beat the Cavaliers. I think he picked the Pacers to beat the Cavaliers. Then he picked the Raptors to beat the Cavaliers. He said they would get to the NBA finals. And then I think he picked the Celtics to beat the Cavaliers. Again, what's the only common thing in all those threads? LeBron was on the Cavaliers, all right? That Cavaliers team was not good. So, not only do LeBron and the Cavaliers beat the Pacers, they come back to beat the Pacers. Chuck picked the Raptors, right? And LeBron sweeps Chuck's pick. He swore up and down the Raptors were ready this year. That year, rather. LeBron sweeps them. Makes a game-winning shot in one of the games. Then we get to the Celtics. LeBron wins that one in 7 games. And he loses in the finals. He got destroyed in the finals. But to me, Chuck never really came out and addressed that. Like, you were wrong, my dude. You were wrong. You picked against LeBron every chance you got, and you were wrong. If I'm not mistaken, Chuck said that the Lakers were not going to make the playoffs. Hell, they were 4th until LeBron got hurt. I just don't understand why the hate is so present when you're paid to be unbiased and leave personal vendettas out of it. So the broadcast goes on TNT last Thursday, if that ain't enough, right? And 2 things happen, right? 2 things happen. So, well, 3 things happen. Here's the first thing. LeBron got called out by Chuck for this Anthony Davis trade situation. All right? Anthony Davis demanded a trade out of New Orleans, and Charles Barkley said we actually said David Stern. He meant to say Adam Silver. He said if he were the commissioner of the league, Adam Silver, he would reject any trade in regards to Anthony Davis going to the Los Angeles Lakers because he called it tampering, right? And he don't like that the players were forcing themselves to other cities. let me just go ahead and address that real quick. I want to stop real quick, and I'll get to the other two things. First off, Charles, you sounded slave-like, right? You don't want the players to have power. We live in a league where a former player would rather owners be able to be able to trade players at their disposal. When they get tired of a guy, they trade him. Was DeAndre Jordan making noise in Dallas? Was Wesley Matthews bad in Dallas? They got traded the other day. Mark Cuban made the best deal for his team. I ain't mad at it. But now that a player, and I'm not really going to say I'm for the demand of trade, but I will say this. Anthony Davis and his agent Rich Paul, they walked to the New Orleans Pelicans and said, look, we're leaving. If I were you, I'd trade us. We want to be out, but again, at the end of the day, the Pelicans have the right to keep Anthony Davis on their roster. And if they want to keep him on the roster, sure, do it. Play him. You're going to lose him in a year and a half, but do you. Nothing's wrong with that. In my opinion, Charles feels like the players are forcing their ways to other cities, right? Okay, that's his perspective. I think it's slave-like. I think he would rather the owners have all the control, and he doesn't look at this like a partnership. And what LeBron has brought to the game of basketball is, players should look at themselves as a partnership. Do the owners play the players? Yes. But the players provide a service that most people in the world can't do at an elite level. That's play night in, night out. They're asking for 82 games of a regular season and 2 or 3 months, of postseason action if you're really good to be an elite athlete, take care of your body, and hopefully bring home this championship that brings even more money to not only the team but the city. So LeBron made guys look at this as a partnership, and to me, Charles is like, I believe that's collusion. I believe we all know LeBron and Rich Paul and Anthony Davis are trying to find a way to get Anthony Davis to the Lakers. If that's what he believes, I'm not mad at that. We obviously know LeBron wants to play with Anthony Davis. I ain't mad at that, if that's what he believes. But for him to say he would reject a trade, that's ridiculous to me. And by the way, can we stop talking about this reject a trade mess? The reason why the New Orleans Pelicans rejected the Chris Paul trade to the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm a Laker fan, but I have to be fair and admit this. The New Orleans Pelicans were owned by the league. I think they might have been the Hornets at the time. They were owned by the league at the time. That's why that trade got rejected. David Stern wasn't going around rejecting trades. The reason why the trade got rejected was because technically David Stern and the NBA owned the Pelicans, or the Hornets rather at the time, New Orleans, while they were going through an owner's change, right? They were going through some things at the time. That's what happened. Chris Paul was going to get traded to the Lakers. I think Odom was in that trade. Powell might have been in that trade. I know Odom was in it for sure. That is what happened. That is 100% what happened. Anybody else making it seem like the commissioners are just going around rejecting trades? That's never ever happened. That doesn't happen. Unless somebody fails a physical, that doesn't happen. All right? So I told y'all how Chuck feels about LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Rich Paul. He's like, nope, that trade shouldn't happen. It's collusion. They're tampering. Okay. Hold that there. 2 more things happened that night in the NBA, right? 2 more things visibly happened. First things first, Kristaps Porzingis got traded. Day before he got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. Porzingis walked into that office and told the New York Knicks, I no longer want to be there. He walked in that office and he said, I don't want to be there. I am not lying to you. Charles Barkley spent more time being upset with LeBron James, calling out LeBron James, than he did talking about what he said he doesn't like, right? He said he doesn't like the fact that Anthony Davis demanded a trade, and he said if he were the league, he would deny the trade and reject it, right? That's what he said. He spent more time, I'm not lying to you, I watched it, talking about LeBron James more than he did Anthony Davis, who demanded the trade from New Orleans, and Kristaps Porzingis, who walked into that New York office and told the Knicks that he didn't want to play with them and was traded the same day. Didn't even talk about it much. Went right on. We'd rather focus on LeBron. He's pretty much blaming LeBron for all of what's going on with Anthony Davis. Second thing that happened that night. It was a doubleheader. That's what TNT does. Philadelphia 76ers were in Golden State. Philadelphia beat the Golden State Warriors fair and square. Ended their 10-11 game winning streak. I'm sorry, I think it was 11, if I'm not mistaken. I know Klay Thompson wasn't playing, but Philadelphia went right into Golden State and beat them fair and square. Charles Barkley complained about players trying to team up with other players. I watched Charles Barkley get more upset at LeBron James for trying to recruit Anthony Davis to the Lakers than he ever got in regards to Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors and DeMarcus Cousins joining the Golden State Warriors. They have 5 All-Stars on the court. 5 guys who have been named All-Stars in their career. Multiple times, by the way. The reason why I brought up the fact that Philly played Golden State was because it was content, right? If ever were a time to further Chuck's point about how he doesn't like the fact that people are stacking up on teams, you'd think he'd bring up the fact that the Warriors hadn't lost a game up until last night since they brought in DeMarcus Cousins, right? You'd think he'd bring up... He never has that energy for the Warriors. As a matter of fact, every time I watch the broadcast of TNT, and I watch it quite frequently of Inside the NBA, he's almost commending how the Warriors play basketball. Well, damn, Chuck, what do you want LeBron to do? If you want to blame LeBron James for creating this culture of guys wanting to team up with other guys, I'm with you. I'm not mad at that. KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, I don't consider that the same. KG was traded to Boston. Never forget that. He was traded to Boston. I always want to make that clear. Ray Allen was traded to Boston. Those are 2 totally different situations. LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh got together and tried to make the league unbalanced. So I'm fine if you want to be critical of Charles Barkley in that moment. of LeBron James in that moment, Charles. If you want to criticize Bron, I am fine with that. Yes, I don't agree with that. LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh were intentionally joining together to make the league unbalanced. That's what they tried to do, right? And I'm critical of LeBron for that. He was trying to make the league unbalanced. Now, I want you to be fair, though, with it. What Kevin Durant and Draymond Green, when they got together and Draymond convinced KD to come to Golden State, what that was not only taking what LeBron was doing, he took it to a whole nother level. What LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh decided to do in Miami, KD and Draymond, they took it to a whole nother level. The Golden State Warriors had the best record in NBA history at 73-9. They lost in a Game 7, meaning if the Cavaliers would have stayed with pretty much their same team, Kevin Love, Kyrie, and the Golden State Warriors would have stayed with their same team, Steph, Klay, and Draymond as the centerpieces, we probably would have had a great NBA Finals for that next 2 years. Listen, I believe in my heart of hearts, and I'm going on a little rant here, the Warriors knew at 100% LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love are better than their big 3 of Steph, Klay, and Draymond at the time. Remember, LeBron, he didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love first go around. Kevin Love went down with an injury first round against Boston. Kelly Olynyk broke his arm, and Kyrie pretty much busted his knee first game of the finals against the Golden State Warriors. So I believe the Warriors knew they could never match up. And it's 3 All-Stars versus 3 All-Stars, whatever, right? So with all that being said, Kevin Durant joining Golden State was clearly trying to make the league unbalanced. And they took LeBron's formula and took it to a whole nother level, a whole nother extreme, right? Chuck, why don't you talk about that more? I'm fine with you criticizing LeBron. When you talk about Golden State, you always speak about the great basketball that they play as a team. It's 5 All-Stars on the court, Chuck. You don't think that you should talk about that more? You're mad. You're criticizing LeBron for trying to get one other All-Star with him. He's trying to get one other All-Star. He's the only All-Star on that Lakers team. And you're saying that the league should reject that trade? And the Warriors are the finals favorite by far? I'm confused. I'm not saying, my brother, don't criticize Bron. I'm not saying that. Damn, when LeBron decided to go back when he decided to go to Los Angeles, you said you think he should stay in Cleveland, right? You said that. Damn. What happens when Kevin Durant decides to re-sign with Golden State this summer? Are you going to keep that same energy? Are you going to say he should go to New York, go get his own team? You ain't ever critical of anyone else outside of Bron. Damn, Chuck. What's up with that? 2 instances happened in that same day that would have allowed Chuck to keep the same energy with somebody else outside of LeBron. And he ain't keep that same energy. Kristaps Porzingis demanded a trade from New York, and he's injured right now. And got it the same day. Golden State Warriors lose to Philadelphia, full strength. And I know Clay was hurt, but you know what I mean. They got 5 All-Stars on the court. Not even a word. Not even a word of the fact that LeBron's trying to find a way to compete with 5 All-Stars. Not even a word about it. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
Telefaro. Mr. Telefaro.
Mr. Telefaro. Mr. Telefaro. Shout out to Mr. Telefaro.
You're watching Mr. Telefaro TV.
Mr. Telefaro TV. Here with the Triple B's. You can't do nothing but win.